Everybody, who needs trick-or-treating when you have all this high school football on Halloween? Week 9 and down the stretch they come. District champions being crowned, playoff spots being clinched. As always, we start with our FNL Game of the Week. Big Al Jerkins and Barry Lewis of the Tulsa World standing by in Sand Springs. Fellas, take it away.
Caden, thank you very much. We had some trick plays. We had some treats. We had 9 touchdowns in the first half, Barry Lewis. By the way, you can see the highlights on KJRH.com and TulsaWorld.com and all of Barry Lewis's comments about this ball game on TulsaWorld.com. Barry, we got so many highlights. We want to get right to it. Like I said, 9 touchdowns in that first half. It got to normalcy in the second half, but it was Booker T that pulled it out in the end with Grundy not playing the first half, playing the second half.
Yes, and he was a big factor in the second half as he led the Hornets to a comeback victory, as well as the Hornets defense came back to life in the second half.
They did, and it was a back-and-forth ball game. The biggest lead of the night was 8 points, and Booker T was able to get a 2-point conversion and get the lead back. But Barry, back and forth, couple of turnovers early, but it was going to be it felt like it was going to be a seesaw battle all game.
Yes, it seemed like an arena football game in the first half, and it seemed a lot like last year's Sand Springs 42-38 victory, almost a replay, except with a different ending this time.
I know, just when Sand Springs started to get a hold of this game, then McKnight returns a kickoff 80 yards for a touchdown as well, but that didn't break the back of the Sandites. They came right back to get the lead at the half.
Sand Springs led by 8 at halftime, and it looked like they were still in pretty good shape midway through the fourth quarter, and then Jonathan Harris made a game-changing play for the Hornets.
He really did, with an interception late in that fourth period, which led to the go-ahead touchdown. And Grundy did not play in the first half, did play in the second half. We know he sprained his ankle against Bixby last week, but what a comeback victory for the Hornets.
Yes, it was huge for Booker T. Washington. Now it looks like they're going to get a first-round home game, and that's very big.
All right, so what does this do for the 5A now? Because you have Bixby clinching the district tonight with their victory, but Booker T, as you mentioned, gets a home field advantage. But the Sandites are right there. This is a pretty competitive district.
Yes, I look for Sand Springs they're going to have to go on the road in the first round, looks like, but I think they can win a first-round game and get to the semifinals.
All right, what do you make of this game with the Sandites unable to get anything going offensively in that second half?
Yes, Booker T's Washington was back to being Booker T. Washington. Remember, they had 5 straight shutouts at one point this season.
They did indeed. Barry, thank you very much again. Barry Lewis, you can read his comments on TulsaWorld.com and also the highlights of all the games tonight on KJRH.com as well. For Barry Lewis, Al Jerkins reporting. Booker T beats the Sand Springs Sandites, Charles Page High School, 42-35 your final score. Let's send it back to Caden.